Hey collectors, Anthony from Hatchersnet here, and today we're taking a look at Naruto Ultimate Legends Wave 3 action figures, and price went up, quality didn't. That's the review. Thanks, guys. No, how do I explain this? So in the opening clip you saw, I did a little bit of a couple frames slip in and on a big scene in the battle here at the end, and basically the second wave Sasuke fell apart, and this wave Naruto fell apart. So obviously quality hasn't improved. It's easy enough to get them back together, but I think the biggest problem with this particular cheapy figure line is that they don't go the just slightly extra mile to make the pegs a little bit longer. Because I think that would solve a lot of problems if the body pegs were a little bit longer. And I'll show you on Naruto here. It sticks out. It looks like it's enough, but as you see, you can feel it click in, but it's barely there. So I think that is a lot of what the problem is, as far as them staying together. But so the camera can take a break and trying to figure out what to focus on. Let's just look at the backdrops here. Of course, this is the Final Valley, and then of course this is Kakashi with a Sharingan, and the back of the packaging is, of course, the characters in some familiar poses. And then here's Kakashi. And then here is Naruto. Now, the interesting fact, Kakashi is the first figure to come with a weapon, just like Trunks was in the Dragon Ball Super line. So that makes for something a little bit interesting. So let's start looking at the figures, and we will start with Naruto. All the figures in this line, they look fantastic. And there's nice texturing here, detail. Head, it barely moves left or right. And you can see how it's on the neck joint there. Now that's true for all the Narutos. So he can tilt his head and a little bit forward and back, but that's pretty much it. Arms, it's on that long peg that goes through the chest here. He has upper arm rotation, see, and there's the waist. And elbow, and he has some hand rotation. Of course, true on the other side, but in one open hand, one fist. So this is what we're getting here. And then, of course, the legs on that nice double joint situation. You got a decent knee bend and ankle tilt and up and down. So if this worked correctly, he would there's like almost no waist rotation, and the chest barely any of that either, but it's kind of like I would forego the upper chest bit for the peg, for increased lengths on other pegs. I guess I wouldn't mind it being a little bit. It doesn't have to be like flush, it just has to be able to handle manipulation, because as always, these approximately $10 US figures, I think they're up to 11 or 12 now, are really meant for sticking into a pose and you're done with it. That's it. These are not toys you give to your kids. They may price them as that, but that is certainly not their use case, because they're just too fragile to be given to a kid. I'm fairly sure a kid gets these guys here, breaks it right away, and then the parent feels like an idiot for spending all that money. Comparison-wise, these two are the same height. Of course, Kakashi's a little bit taller. Texturing goes all the way around on Naruto. His hair is sharp, so watch out for that. Sasuke, he has both the Sharingan and the Rinnegan, and of course he's beat up. He has basically, I guess both of them technically have banal damage. He's a little scuffed up where Naruto's clothes are cut up. Well, I guess so Sasuke's, and decent enough. Get that Karen haircut going on. Again, the arms are on that type of peg situation. He has upper, it's just kind of hidden under here. And he has elbow and twist and bend, just like Naruto. Head is mounted kind of on a more flat peg, so he has a little bit more bend. But then again, his collar probably gets in the way, and that's probably why they chose that. He does have upper. He does not have waist. He has a skirt on, so it prevents some leg movement. Like, he really can't get very far in his leg movement, but he can still bend. And of course he has the ankle pivot and tilt. So at least you're getting that. I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, the Sasuke's are fairly limited. The Wave 2 Sasuke had that skirt on, which actually does come off. You have to be careful. The plastic is so thin that you could warp it in some way, or in the case of what I did, you ended up putting like a little bit of a white indent in it because I stressed it too much taking it off and putting it back on. So Kakashi here, again, he has Sharingan. Don't know how well that's going to come in, but of course he has the uniform of the United Ninja United Ninja troops. I forget the United Ninja something or other. But yeah, he got he has of course the X across his chest, but other than that, no real battle damage, and it's like in there. It's not paint, so he actually has like a kind of a divot in there. He comes with a key or powered I would say key like his Dragon Ball. But, he has a throwing knife. I want to say shuriken, but that's not it. It's a throwing knife. So yeah, he got some great detail on the back, nice and textured. He got a holster here. I thought would be useful for the knife, but it doesn't have a place for it. And the blade, of course, fell. Kunai, that's the word I'm looking for. But head is very, very limited. He can do an up and down and very little, but you can see his neck is kind of at a weird angle. I think probably more closely to Sasuke's. Up and down, all the way around. He has shoulder, he has upper arm, he has wrist and elbow, so he's all good there. He got the articulation down. He has a mid-joint, and he has a little bit of waist, but this bag in the back kind of bothers that. He doesn't even get far back kick or anything, but he does have a nice knee bend, and the toes forward, back, side to side. So, decent enough, and just interesting that they finally gave somebody a weapon, although I think in Wave 3 was Trunks, so maybe Wave 3 they give a to one of the characters. I'm not quite sure why they needed to. I know it was like a transportation thing at some point or something. Now, as you probably figured out, the kunai is very small. It is not tightly held in his fist. It's actually soft rubber, I guess, plastic. So I just slip it in. I'm not quite sure. This is going to get lost. Let's put it that way. I wish there was a way to stick it on him where he wouldn't lose it. But that's just not the option they give us here. All in all, they're decent figures. Again, not for children. This is collectors. This is cheap collectors. You just wanted some Naruto, or in the case of Dragon Ball Super line, you just wanted some. You can pose them. You can do what I did with them, and then that's it. They're gonna go sit back on a shelf or a box, and that's it. Do not give these to your kids. They will destroy them right away. Otherwise, keep going. I'm hoping for the next wave to include maybe Tsunade and a grown-up, or even both the young and middle-aged Sakura, so you can complete Team 8 at least in 2 levels. They are not exclusive to any store this time. So I found these 3 on Amazon, but you can probably find them in Target and Walmarts at some point.
With that said, tell me in the comments your thoughts on these items. Did you get them? And how was your experience with them? Thanks for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.